Yes, so good evening. How are you doing, my people? It's a pleasure to have you on another special edition of the Jagbajantis Show. This one is the Valentine Special. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé yẹn, ẹ máa wá ibì kan tó kù láti ra fìdílé. And as you're coming in, please help me press the share button on your device and share this show. Let somebody be aware that a show like this is going on. Please help me invite somebody to join the show. You can put it on your stories. You can share it as a post. Let's invite as many people as possible to connect with us on this show tonight. As you're coming in, just say hi. Let me know who are on the show and where you are joining from. Thank you very much as you connect. Eku Valentino. I don't know why people are not yet here, but hopefully we will have more people as we progress on the show. Right. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi orin kan tó soft sí. Right. Right. Let me see who are online. I see you, my brother, Oluwaseun Michael Adeyeun. Thank you for connecting again tonight. It was a pleasure to have you join me in the studio last week, Friday, and the conversation was solid. I really, really appreciate you. Hopefully, we can do more of that tonight as well. And I can see my lovely sister, Sister Kemi. She's also on the show. Thank you very much also for joining me on the show last week and, for that engaging discussion we had. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you on the show again tonight. I can see my sister also, Adenike Onifade. Thank you for connecting all the way from Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you for connecting tonight. Please, the only tithe I accept in this ministry is just for you to press the share button and to invite somebody. What is on that? Please help me do that as you join the service tonight. Hello, my sister, Sister Dayo Lori. Thank you for connecting tonight. She's a wonderful person, a regular on this show, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much. If you share the show, I will know. And up till now, mi ò rò pé anybody ó tí ṣe yẹn. Wọ́n charge yín o. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní wọ́n ní gbowó lọ́wọ́ yín. So please just help me do that. And then we move on. This is a special Valentine special. As you know, we're in the week of àwọn olólùfẹ́, and then tá a bá ń sunkún a máa ń ríran. Before we proceed to the week and start collaborating and start fífọ́ra wa lẹ́nu and start proposing and start doing all kind of things and start getting, carried away in the heat of the season, I think there's a need for us to share some sense, and that is why I have decided to bring this discussion we will be having tonight. I've had somebody attack me before now to say, "Oh, it should the topic should be the other way around," But I said no. Um, even though it looks like it's the men that is being addressed, no, it's the other way around. If we look at it in the whole sense of things, the women can learn, men can learn, all of us can learn. You know, so um, tonight, what I have brought for us to discuss is what I titled Wife Material, a guide of what to look for. So, this is a topic that is ideal for, men who are still single. It's ideal for women who are still single, or people who have been in one relationship before now, and they're out of it, and they are thinking of giving it a try again. This is also a very good discussion for you to listen to. Also, for those of us who have probably made our decisions already, and few things that are going on in our relationships that we're finding difficult. um, this sort of discussion will help you to probably trace the root of the problem you're having. Wọ́n ní amúkùn ẹrù ẹwọ́, ó lókè lẹ́ ń wò, ẹ wò sàlẹ̀. Like many of you know about me, I like to trace things back to their root. I don't like, touching issues on the surface. I like to go back. I like to go down. Wọ́n ní tí ò bá níṣẹ́, iṣẹ́ kì í dédé ṣẹ́. So we can't just be treating issues based on what is happening. We can't be treating symptoms only. We need to go and check out the root cause and treat it from the cause and from the root. That is when we can have a lasting solution. So many people are in relationships that it's just wrong from the start. And no matter what you do, it won't just work. It's as simple as that. It won't work. Many people didn't do their due diligence before they, settle down for the partner they settle down for, and it just went horrible. And that's what you get, when you don't do the right thing you're supposed to do. And that is why we need to be having discussions like this to help those who are still coming on the way. Many people focus so much on the one day wedding ceremony, and they don't put too much effort into the marriage itself. Many don't even take the courtship period serious to be able to understudy the partner they are trying to start a new life with. And as such, they went blind eye into the relationship, and the marriage was like an eye opener for them, a big, huge shocker that many of them could not handle. So we can talk about marriage not working, this not happening, and all that for as long as we like, until we start going back to the basis. What should we do from the onset? What have we failed to do on the onset? That's when we would have solution. So I welcome you again again tonight as we discuss wife material, a guide of what to look for. Right, ṣùpọ̀ mo rí ẹ o, ṣó wàá pa. Àwọn ti wà lórí ètò àǹtí Kẹ́mi ti wà ń bẹ̀. Tó bá tó time, a máa gbé wọlé tí ò bá tí ì di rough kó tó dìgbà yẹn. So, let me put out my disclaimer as usual. I'm not here to dictate to you how to live your life. I'm not here to put unnecessary demands on you. I'm not here to act as if I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm only here to share the truth. And most of the things that I share here are, down to my personal experience and, meditation and my own research. So I don't speak in absolute. So anything I share here is not final. You know, it's just my point of view, and it's entirely up to you what you do with the information you gather from me on this show. So it's the same thing tonight. I'm not here to brag that everything I'm going to say here tonight is 100% guaranteed to lead you, picking a perfect partner. Um, I'm not here to say outside everything I'll say tonight, there's nothing else anybody can add. No, you know, I'm just here to help us. Maybe look at certain things that probably we don't take to be serious or we don't even consider. My role is simply to open up new perspectives for us and probably discuss issues that people ordinarily wouldn't want to get into. So the goal of um, our discussion tonight is to break down that term wife material, by addressing the man's decision making process when evaluating a woman for long term commitment. We will be looking at what are the qualities and traits one should look for in a woman across different but important areas of their lives. So while I might be speaking to the men, the women also should be taking note of these areas because we're talking about them, and they will be in the best position to know how to put themselves right in those areas. And I'll be very blunt and frank tonight. Um, I might be controversial at some point, but that is the purpose of the show. So the comment section is open as usual. Get it busy, but be civil in your discussion or in your comment. I'll keep my eye on the comment section as much as I can, and when it is time, hopefully, I will put out the link and make the studio open for anyone that might want to contribute. If you have not shared the show, please help me do that. Help me invite somebody. Keep on smashing the love button if I'm making sense. And because the more we get engaging on this platform, the more it gives this show prominence in terms of ranking. So please, let's play our part. Right. Men, choosing the mother of your children will be one of the most important decisions you will ever make in your life. The mother of your children is one of the greatest investment you will ever make for yourself, and your unborn children. Because you have to understand that not only will she carry them, like, be pregnant with them, she will be giving them half of their genetic material, half of their genetic composition will be coming from her. She will bear them, and then she will be the primary source of nurturing and influencing them for the most formative part of their lives. So you can see that this is not something you want to get wrong. If you do, which many have done, um, you will live to regret it till the very end of your days. Many are already regretting it, and they wish they hadn't made this sort of mistake. So over the week, I saw a video of a child, maybe 3 4 years old, at a party with a bottle of beer. Um, the mother was also at that party dancing. They were all facing the camera, just grooving away, and the kid was there. Gbádùn beer alone, from the bottle, swinging from the bottle. So mo wò ó pé abiyamọ kan náà nìyẹn. Bàbá tó fún yẹn lóyún, àbọ́kọ tó fún yẹn lóyún, kò mọ̀ pé n tá dà nìyẹn. Kò bá má dẹpọ̀n bolẹ̀ fúnrú yẹn. So this is a very, very critical um, critical point of a man's life. Ká bọ́mọ ṣeré, ká ṣe gbogbo nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ọ̀tọ̀. But when it comes to this aspect, choosing the mother of your children, it's not something you want to joke with. Choosing the person you will spend the rest of your life with, it's not something you just handpick anyone. Otherwise, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Mokinyo Mommy, Yemi Adiola, thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on board, ma. Ekale. Egbon, Ekale o. Sewapa. I'm happy you are able to join in tonight. Right. So, before we go and start looking at the women, I need to start from the men themselves. There are great men around, don't get me wrong. And, men who are disciplined in their businesses, in their works, in every facet of their life. But kọ́kọ́rọ́ kan wà tó bẹ̀yìn ajá jẹ́, that is common to many of them, and that is lust. Lust seems to be like the common weakness among men. And so The first thing I'll be saying to the men is this: finding ways to manage your lust and not letting your dick do all the deciding for you by impregnating a woman you do not believe will be a good mother will be the greatest help you can do for yourself. Ètò yẹ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sí conference l'Abuja kù wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ sí Port Harcourt kù wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀. You have to build self-discipline for yourself in that aspect. Because sleeping with a woman you wouldn't want to commit yourself to, it's simply irresponsible. It's like playing a game of Russian roulette with your life. And many have, played this game and it's gone wrong for them. This is where the pain, poverty, and suffering of some men and young boys around started from. They sabotaged themselves by allowing their dicks to trap them into union with a woman they have no compassion, no trust, or future with. And this is the worst kind of relationship you can get yourself into. Because if you fall into a relationship with a woman where there is no compassion, no trust, and you guys are not just on the same level, you will experience the worst that the woman can offer. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ á gbẹ, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ó máa dry. So what I'm saying in essence is this: as a man, you play a key role in the selection process of the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, of the person that will be the mother of your children. And so you need to develop a strong kind of self-discipline that will prevent you from impregnating just any woman until you are certain that, yes, this one can make, a good mother, a good wife. So, number one advice for you is this: stop thinking with your dick. Ẹ yé fẹ́ pọ̀n ronú o. Ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin tẹ́ wà lórí ètò. Ẹ yé fi ẹpọ̀n yín ronú. Right. The second thing you need to also take note of as a man is you need to be able to understand yourself, know who you are, know what you want, know your goals, know your aspirations, know your purpose. And then you'll be able to ask yourself, this person I want to join myself with, or this relationship I want to start, is it for love or for business? So these two things are not mutually exclusive. There are arrangements that can make each of these things exist on their own. So I have come across a lady that is on £2,000 a month salary for being a wife of a man. So she's on £2,000 salary every month. She has a flat in West London that the man is paying for. She gets to go on holiday, and she can, get money for shopping and all that. And she's strictly getting all this payment and benefit for answering Mrs. So. So she's not allowed to bother herself with whatever thing the man does. So I overheard her one day talking to, a friend about some of these things, some of the things this man was getting into. And then the friend was like, "Oh, and you allow that, blah 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 blah." And then that was when she said, "Oh well, I can't. There's nothing I can do really because he pays me to be his wife. So I can only say this blah blah blah, and then he will just talk over it and probably increase what he's giving me. That's it. So that sort of arrangement exists. We have in some culture in Asia, India, and the rest of them like that, where they're particular about um, women that they get married to. Mostly is to expand their empire. So they are particular about marrying into this particular family to protect either their business interest or expand what they have already. So in that situation, the basic requirement is just for the woman to be fertile and to be good looking, and then for the woman also, she will just be she want the basic, which is the guy to be able to provide for her. So in that sort of arrangement, it's purely business, strictly business. But when it is for love, which also is a foundation you can build to help you also achieve your goal, your view and what you look for has to be different. So but ideally you need to marry a woman you love and who possesses the traits and qualities that will assist you in fulfilling your life's purpose. So but you can't do this without knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing your goals, knowing your future. Or that is the only time you can pick the right person to accompany you on that journey. Mokinyo, my senior colleague, Ekalema, Shewa Dada, Ekwele Ekoriyan. Thank you for connecting with me tonight. Right. And the third thing that I also mentioned to the men, which is quite important here, before we move on to what we should look for in women, is you men stop looking for your mother in a wife. You can't find a woman that will be like your mother. Most men have that, inclination to, well, maybe subconsciously seek out their mothers when looking for a woman. And this is because they've taken their mom to be like the primary template of femininity. But mo láyè láti sọ fún yín wípé it's foolishness to do this because no woman other than your mother will treat you in the way that she does. So, and the reason why she treats you like that, the reason why she, tolerates your weakness, your incompetence, and overlook some of your excesses and all that is because of the genetic tie you have with her. That's all. So, You can't get such loyalty from any other woman that you are not genetically related to. So your wife don't want to be your mother. So you have to realize that you are done being a son. You are done being a boy. The stage you are now, you have to be a man. And the relationship that your woman is expecting is that of the husband and wife relationship. She doesn't want to feel like you are depending on her. She wants to be able to depend on you. She doesn't want to be nursing a boy. She doesn't want to be mothering a boy. She wants a man. So she wants a pillar of strength. And that's your burden to carry. That is what you're bringing into the relationship. So if she's a good woman and you've earned her respect, she will do her best to ensure that she serves as a good mother for your children, not you. So men, go and grow up. Stop being a boy. Stop looking for somebody to nurse you. You're done being a boy. You're now a man. And the woman you're trying to get is looking for a husband, not a son. Tẹ́ bá nara yín lẹ́dà láṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bímọ fún ẹ tó máa bá ẹ tọ́jú. Ìwọ kọ́ ló fẹ́ tọ́jú. Right? Right. Now, let's get into what to look for in a woman, which is the second part of this discussion tonight. Wife material, a guide of what to look for. If you have not shared the show, please help me share the show. Help me invite somebody. Ó ti fẹ́ máa zẹ̀ lọ báyìí o. Àti fẹ́ máa wọnú ẹ̀ lọ báyìí o. Right. My sister here says this is more like a two-edged sword. This speaks to women to raise a whole man. I'm intentionally doing this. Thank you very much. And that is the point I'm trying to achieve on this show. We're going to balance it as much as possible, you know. So I won't come on this show and just give one-sided discussion or, you know. No, èmi wá bí mo wá fọ́ nǹkan mọ́lẹ̀ ni. And I'll do it as much as, you know, my ability permits. Thank you very much for that comment. So the first thing to look for in a woman, look for a well-cultivated woman. So to plant anything, the land or the soil is the most important thing. I mean, even more important than the seed. Because tílẹ̀ bá ti já ṣálẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ gbìn sórí ẹ̀ tó máa hù, you know. So building a relationship is also like trying to plant a garden. The soil you are going to plant on is very important. The planting will be easy if the soil is cultivated, you know, that is prepared and is ready for planting. So a well-cultivated woman is one who had a strong, solid father that cultivated a mentor-like relationship with his daughter while raising her. So a well-cultivated woman is one that holds her father in high esteem and respects his word. A well-cultivated woman is one that felt loved enough by the father that she does not resent him for exercising authority over her. Hmm. Ó kí àbí ń fomi là á. Mo mọ̀ pé onílàákàyè náà lẹ wà ń bì. So a well-cultivated woman is in essence is one where the father played his role well in her life. Unfortunately, in this contemporary age, such women are rare to come by because many men have failed in their duties as fathers. So what is common today are women carrying about baggages of resentment for their fathers. Either the father was too strict, or it was too permissive. Ó ti kẹ́ wọn rà, ó ti kẹ́ wọn, ó ti kẹ́ wọn, wọ́n ti yà dín. Or the father was simply absent. So when you meet an uncultivated woman, as we have many of them today, iṣẹ́ ńlá ló fẹ́ ṣe o, because you will first have to clean up her father's mess in cultivating a respectable, grounded, and quality woman. So instead of you to be a husband, you'll be playing the role of daddy in any literal way you can think of it. So simply put, you will first have to train her. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dá ìdàní ìbánilágbà kékeré ló ti ń bá ní lọ. Ẹja gbígbẹ ló fẹ́ máa ká yẹn, ó máa kán ni. So this is a tough job. Many of them won't even, hand themselves over to you to be trained. Because many of them, they replicate the resentment they have for their fathers in the life of every man they come across. Kò bá jọ́gà abiṣẹ́ wọn, kò bá jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́, anywhere anywhere they find a man, they replicate the resentment they have for their fathers in the life of every man they come across. So this training requires a large time investment from you as a man. Especially if you are sure that it's still, debe, you are still hustling, you are still struggling, you still want to establish yourself, you still have your career ahead of you, you still have businesses to pursue, you still have goals to achieve, you still have self-development of your own goal to do. You don't have time to devote to such training. More so, not all women are worth cultivating. Some are they are gone. Ó ti bọ́, tó bá ń gbọ́ ó ti bọ́. Ìyá mi mo kí yín o. Ẹ káalẹ́, Ọlárẹ̀wájú Fátóbá, ṣé wàá pa o. Thank you for connecting tonight. Mo gbádùn kọ́mẹ̀ntì tẹ́ jù bẹ́ẹ̀, àwọn àkẹ́bàjẹ́ aláìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, àìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àti àkẹ́bàjẹ́ ló bá obìnrin míì délé ọkọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, nǹkan tí mò ń sọ ń bì gan ni. And then they now hide under feminism, a concept they don't even understand. Yes, sharing pé ó ti ń zẹ̀ báyìí. Sharing pé ó ti ń zẹ̀ báyìí. So, àwọn tó ti bàjẹ́ yẹn, I mean, there's really nothing you can do. They're gone. They don't have the potentials you need. And like any craftsman, you need good material to work with. So your job is to recognize one of the few women who was raised well to minimize the burden of cleaning up her mess and then mold her into your ideal. So hopefully this can only work also if there's trust and willingness and strong connection between the both of you. So the first thing is to look for a well cultivated woman, and that is a woman who had a strong and magnificent father who cultivated such a mentor-like relationship with her, and she holds such a man in high esteem, respect his word, and loved him enough not to resent um, him for exercising authority over her. So irú yẹn iṣẹ́ yẹn á dùn ṣe. Aunty Kemi, yeah, you will join. Ẹ ṣáà máa note point yín down. Mo mọ̀ pé ó ti ń gbé yín lọ́kàn. Ẹ calm down. Ẹ bomi sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ máa mú. Wáyé jẹ́ pé epo náà ni ẹ máa la. And then you will join me when it's time. I will quickly rush through my point because mo pé tí n bá ti pè yín wọlé nsìn, I won't be able to touch some of the things I need to touch. So Emma jot things down. Yeah, them are lie epo. Right. Ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin ẹ̀ ń kọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀ ní jìn sọ́fín o. Right. So the second point, the second thing you need to look out for in a woman is her mental stability. The psychological state of mind of a woman is one of the most important things to look for, because this will have the greatest impact on your relationship over any other factor. By nature, women are more neurotic than men. That is, they are prone to experiencing negative emotions than men. They are easily impacted by stress and anxiety, negative thoughts, worries, and things like that. So the more neurotic, that is mentally unbalanced, the more mentally unbalanced a woman is, the more high maintenance she becomes. The more issues you will have to deal with every single day of your life. Because she's prone to nagging, she's prone to unnecessary arguments, and stuff like that. So a woman who is mentally balanced will give her man space to thrive, will make the home peaceful for her man, will give space for the man to learn and to carry out essential activities and tasks needed to be able to function as a man. She won't tojú bọ nǹkan tí ò yẹ kó tojú bọ̀. She won't, make herself present in a place where her presence is not needed. And a highly neurotic woman, on the other hand, that is a woman that is, mentally unstable. She's prone to distrust, nagging. She's suspicious of everything and constantly holding back the man from achieving greatness. So, ẹni tó yẹ kó jẹ́ olùrànlọ́wọ́ ń sìn, á wá jẹ́ olùdènà. when the man should be having, that plain sailing, ride, the woman will be acting like an anchor. So oftentimes you find women in this category um, to be women who have experienced, maybe so much trauma in their past. And then this has induced, some psychological or psychiatric disturbances in them, which is why they are, they're exhibiting such unhealthy, levels of neurotism. Wọ́n kàn máa, wọ́n kàn máa ní anger, wọ́n wà paranoid, wọ́n wà suspicious gbogbo nǹkan. Lágbájá ṣe wò ẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ̀yìn kan ṣe kí ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ń bo ló lọ látàárọ̀, ò darí wálé, and stuff like that. You see so many men in beer parlor when they finish from work, they can't come home. They say wàhálà ẹ̀ pọ̀ jù. So they rather just hang around there and while away the time. Wọ́n ti mú wá rí pé ilẹ̀ ti po free, ó fẹ́ láti sùn, ìgbà yẹn lọ́ tó máa lọlé. Some of them hang around in barber shops, or they rather just stay away from home. So you need to watch out for women like this. While I'm not saying such women can't pursue, getting married and being mothers, I'm saying because of their psychiatric imbalance, they're not suited to marriage and motherhood, just by merit of their own dysfunctions, but the choice is yours. Tó bá wù ẹ́, lọ torí bọ̀. Àwọn kan wà nínú ẹ̀, wọ́n ń súfèé àgàn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Ilé ń gbóná janjan bí air fire ni. Àwọn tó wà nínú ẹ̀ ló lè sọ fún ẹ. Wọ́n mọ̀. Ọmọ ṣe ń já ẹsẹ̀ báyìí. Right. Let's move on. Another point you should consider, or another thing you should look for in a woman, is that pick a woman that is highly sedulous. That is a woman that is self-disciplined, a woman that is hardworking, a woman that is industrious, a woman that wants to get things done, a woman that has self-discipline, a woman that is not lazy. Talk and do woman. Not I will, I want. Orí ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ máa sùn sí. A woman that does what she says she will do. What this sort of woman guarantees you is a tidy home front, an orderly environment, an organized home. She will keep your life spotless. She will feed you well, prepare nutritious and delicious home-cooked food for you. Kì í ṣe àwọn ẹlẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ ó ti kúrò níbi iṣẹ́ àbí? Báyà kò ya kinní kò bá wa ọ̀dà kinní bọ̀. A woman that is comparatively lazy will be less of an asset for you. Ayé á sú ẹ, ilé á máa rùn, gbogbo nǹkan á nira, nǹkan kò ní gbé bọ́dì ẹ̀. So it's important that you consider this aspect when you are vetting your woman. Another important point that I want you to also consider is her familial culture. By nature, women are conformist creatures than men. So you need to look into the kind of family she's coming out from. Wọ́n ní aya burúkú dùn fẹ́, àna burúkú lèèyàn ò gbọdọ̀ ní. You must understand the kind of values that are in her family. Check the parents. Are they divorced? Check their relationship. Báwo bàbá àti ìyá yẹn ṣe ń ṣe. Check, will this family support or discourage, you working things out tó bá pé nǹkan ti ẹ̀ wọ́lẹ̀. Ṣáwọn lọ́ máa bá a mú van wá tó máa wá kẹ́rù ẹ̀ jáde. Àbáwọn lọ́ máa sọ fún yín pé nǹkan báyìí ni kẹ́ ẹ work lé lórí, nǹkan báyìí ni kẹ́ ẹ work lé lórí. Check, is it a family that has that traditional family values? Or they are the type that raise, their children with this modern day, shallow values. You must understand that when you marry a woman, you're not just marrying her, you are marrying into her family as well. And whether you like it or not, our family will have a strong influence on how she behaves, especially in rough times. Usually, there will be our first point of call. That will be the place you first run to if things are not working or she's struggling. What do you think they will tell her? How do you think they will influence her? Would they tell her or recommend to her to work on certain things that they know that, she needs to work on? Or they will be the one to help her quickly to abandon the relationship? So it's important that you pick a woman that comes from a family that has influence to support marriage rather than undermine it. Má lọ fẹ́ àwọn àna òṣì o. Má lọ fẹ́ àwọn ìyàwó tó ní àwọn àǹtí jàǹkárà wèrè kan tó yẹ pé tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí wọ́n máa jáàkì ara wọn, máa jáàkì èjìká ni, wọ́n máa jáàkì apá bùbá kan ní all the time, tó máa gbọ́n rí, tó máa sọ pé kí ni kó ṣì dànù, ṣó ṣí eré ní ṣó ń bẹ̀, ayé ẹ̀ fẹ́ bàjẹ́ ni, kí ló ṣeun. Tó bá ti rú àwọn àǹtí yẹn, anytime tó bá ti rí woman yẹn tó ti rú àwọn àǹtí yẹn tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ láyìíká ẹ̀, pàdí mi, gbọ́n bàtà ẹ kó gbérọ́ o, àjẹ́bẹ́ tí ẹ máa bàjẹ́. Àwọn àǹtí yẹn á ba yí ẹ jẹ́, fáàtì mo sọ fún ẹ yẹn. Wọ́n máa su ẹrù kalẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀, ò ní jámọ́ nǹkan kan. So tètè wọ boxers ẹ padà. ọba ti já kọ́ńdọ́ọ̀mù gan tètè fílẹ̀ ń bẹ́ àti tó ti lò àti tó ti lò kó o gbé gbogbo ẹrù ẹ kó o gbérọ́ o. Àwọn tó wà nínú ẹ àwọn ló lè ròyìn o. Ayé ò ní fi ẹ́ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ burúkú o. Another important point I want you to consider is regarding health and fertility concerns. Now, churches are making it mandatory for people to, maybe provide their genotype and stuff like that. Àwọn èèyàn consider it tẹ́lẹ̀. AS akàn collabo AS náà ni ẹ wá máa gbàdúrà. All these things are preventable. Ìgbà tójú dúdú ló máa ń sọ pé àbíkú lọmọ kan ìgbà kan ló ṣe kinní kan, but science jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé genetic disorder ń fa gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí, and you have the ability to prevent them happening. So kò sírùfẹ́ tẹ́ lè ní tó bá ti rí pé ó dà pé jẹ́ yín ò bára mu ó máa fa wàhálà, jẹ́ kó ká kúrò lójú ẹ kó move on. Gbogbo necessary test tó bá yẹ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe. Ẹ má wọnú ẹ̀ tán kó wá máa di story that touch. Kò yẹ pé ńgbà tẹ́ wá wọnú ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe sọ fún ẹ pé ìgbà tó ń ṣe D&C last doctor yẹn ó kàn lọ puncture ilé ọmọ òun ni ó ti wá ń jò wọ́n ràn náà ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣàṣì ń jò náà ni màmá bá yẹn pé kí ló sọ lẹ́nu kí wọ́n puncture kí ló fi gùn, but it's too late. Ṣé báyìí yẹ kí ọ̀ náà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa gbọ́ ni? Ṣé báyìí yẹ kó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa gbọ́? So you don't overlook any of these concerns because of love. Ìfẹ́ máa ká lójú ẹ̀ tí wàhálà bá dé tán. And also you have to understand that by nature, a woman's fertile shelf is much shorter than that of a man. So títí dọjọ́ òkú là máa dámẹ́ra. Kábíyèsí ikú bàbá yèyè. Ọmọ ikú ọmọ àrùn. Bàbá nìyẹn. So títí láíláí là máa dá nǹkan lẹ̀. But women, on the other hand, become extremely difficult to impregnate from the age of 35 medically. And I'm not talking pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí fún everybody, but ideally. So from that age onward, they stop producing viable eggs, and some experience difficulty in getting pregnant, and some can still get pregnant. You never know. Ó kàn jẹ́ pé ó kàn máa pẹ́ díẹ̀ ni. It takes more attempt. And sometimes they give birth to children with complications and maybe with lower genetic quality. So typically dating a woman close to this age or over this age is you racing against a rapidly closing fertility window. So if you meet a woman within this age bracket or around that age bracket, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ sì fẹ́ sọ pé ẹ sì fẹ́ ní couples time o, kẹ́ sì ní time fúnra yín kọ́mọ tó wọlé, kẹ́ travel, kẹ́ sì bá kẹ́kẹ́ ọmọ máa wà mọ́ ẹni o, àwọn ilé yóò ra kò sáyè kíní o, wọ́n máa sọ fún ẹ pé wá mi ò ní time. So they push you quicker into that stage of parenthood. Ìwọ tó ṣe ń wò pé ká tiẹ̀ sì kí n ṣiṣẹ́ ọdún mélòó kan sí ká fi gádàrà wa kó tó di ń pọ̀ mọ́ wa, irọ́ o, wọ́n máa pamọ́ jọ ni, àwọn fẹ́ bímọ ni. So you become a parent quicker than you would want. The responsibility keep mounting. Ẹ tí ìgbádùn ara ẹ̀ tí ì ṣe nǹkan kan, ọmọ tún ti dé, gbogbo ẹ̀ tí ń dojúrú. So you will have less couples time. You will be deprived of the privilege of enjoying yourself while still in the early part of the marriage and everything like that. And you'll be thrust into that parenthood and additional responsibility much quicker than you would imagine or expect or would want. So it's important for you to consider these things and you know plan the age accordingly. That does not mean wípé ẹni tó young náà kò ní fertility issue. So mo ṣe sọ wípé you have to make every necessary checks before you go ahead. Many are in it already. Tó wá ń fìyà jẹ obìnrin yẹn, tó ń ṣe gbá, tó ń ṣàwò, táwọn méjèèjì ń pọ́nra wọn lójú nínú marriage. Wọ́n ń gbàwẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń jẹ àṣejẹ ni wọ́n ń ṣe gbá, ló ń ṣàwò, ló ń ṣe oríṣiríṣi nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Gbogbo nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ò bá má necessary if you can do the necessary checks before you even proceed. So that is that. Another important point I want us to also mention is you have to consider our relationship with money. Yes, wọ́n máa ń sọ pé owó lobìnrin mọ̀, kì í ṣe èbú. Normal. But the way women care about money, so also men care about money. It's a human thing. But men often don't like those kind of women we call gold diggers. But you need to be able to differentiate between a gold digger and somebody who has genuine concern for money. Because not everyone that has concern about money that is a gold digger. So somebody that it's concerned that would you be able to take care of her and the family you guys are going to create, it's not a gold digger, because it's normal for a woman to be sure that you have the ability to financially provide as a man for her and the home. So that is not a trait of a gold digger. But the woman that is so much concerned about money to the point of obsession that it's so materialistic, that is not frugal in her spending, such is a woman that you have to stay clear of. Wá fowó bàjẹ́ òun ra nǹkan just because you want to have her. Kòtò ara ẹ̀ ló ń gbẹ́ o. Kòtò ara ẹ̀ ló ń gbẹ́. Because if she loves money, somebody richer than you will come along. Á dẹ̀ bá lọ, wọn ò lójútì. When a woman is greedy and she's materialistic, you can't satisfy her. Wọ́n ní ìyàwó tá a fi jó fẹ́ ẹran ló máa wò lọ. So if you ignore this part of her that is so obsessed with money, you will live to regret it, because She will be so arrogant in her demand. She will expect more, and she will insult you for not meeting her unreasonable high standard. But when you meet the one that is modest and frugal with money, she will appreciate what you give to her. She will appreciate what you do for her. And she would be reasonable in her demands. So it's essential that you find a woman who's frugal with money, that respect your money, and who would not constantly, you know, wants to spend, and push you to get your hands soiled because you want to meet her demands. Right. My brother Akinjide Abu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our timekeeper in secondary school, Ikeja High School. This man is the most punctual person I've ever seen in my life. We call him Abu Alago. And his comment is from this side of the world. The expectation of children after marriage is overwhelming. So ladies hide under the guise of motherhood and be all lazy. Yes, you are correct. So gbogbo kini ẹ̀ ní láti wò. So what you said now, it's a combination of maybe 3 different points I made. So you have to like look at this particular point you made now under 3 different headings. Our family, is she conscientious, like hardworking or lazy? And you're also looking at our age and fertility concerns. And then you'll be able to position yourself well. You can't live your life according to the dictate of the society, because that is what many of us have done. That is what majority of us are doing, and things are failing. Báyìí ló ń ṣe, kémi náà sáré lọ ṣe, kíní báyìí ló kàn, kémi náà like, and many of us are just getting our hands into things that we have no idea of. So this is like a call on us to say, you know what, step back from all these things. Step back and plan your own life. Make that intentional choice, not just anything that comes your way. If you must get it right. If you must get it right. Take your time to get it right. And my sister here made a very, very important point. A man is usually what he gets. That is it. And that is my first. Is it the first point I made to the men or second? I think the second point I made to the man. You must understand yourself. You must know where you're going. You must know what you want in life. You must have that clear picture, because that is the only way you can pick somebody that will journey with you without trouble. Ní níwọ̀ fẹ́ lọ sí London kó n sọ wípé Liverpool ló fẹ́ kọrí sí níjọ débì kankan. So you are very correct. A man is usually what he gets. Thank you very much for that point. Ara àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn. Ẹ ti ń líkì ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Okay, I'll round up now and then I will release the link for you to join me in the studio for us to have views of um, you listeners. And but if me just 1 minute to just round up my point. So this last one, I think many of you will find it a little bit controversial, but it's not. It's just it's just a reality, and that is you have to check the level of intelligence of the woman you want to get married to. You need to find a woman who is intelligent enough to hold, intellectual conversations with, a woman that won't dull you. Tell me fine by, ó pancake, ó ṣe nails, ó ṣe eyelashes, ó ṣe bone straight, ó wọ kinní yẹn tó fi máa ń ṣe shape yẹn tí gbogbo okùn flat tummy bọ́m̀bọ̀m ń yọ iwájú yọ ẹ̀yìn yọ. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá la ẹnu ẹ̀ báyìí láti sọ̀rọ̀, ọ̀pá tí alàbà ló ń sọ jáde lẹ́nu. So you need an intelligent woman. Don't forget that your children will be sharing from my genetics. So if she's intelligent, she can give you clever children. She can, contribute in giving you sound counsel, and she can be a better companion for you in that journey. But here lies the wahala. When you find an over intelligent woman, they are usually stubborn, because they want to assume that or change that leader follower dynamic. So you would have more disagreement. You would have, you know, more price to pay in terms of um, satisfying her. She's less likely to follow your lead. And generally, you have more headache. So you have to, balance this out and ensure that the one you get is not over intelligent to make your life miserable, as well as not too dull, such that you find our companionship very boring. Yes, I think I will pause here for now and give room for people to join me in the studio. I have put out the link. Please follow that link, click on it. You will just do one, two things on your device, computer, phone, or anything like that. Connect your headphones and then join me in the studio. Once I see you at the back end, I will bring you in. Mo ti ṣí yín sílẹ̀ báyìí o. You want to attack me? Ẹ máa bọ̀. You want to compliment things I've said? You're welcome. You want to add to some of the things I've said? You're welcome. The link is there in the comment. Just click on it. Wherever you are watching from, Nigeria, Angola, Kenya, anywhere, you won't pay extra to do this. It's not costing you nothing. You are not downloading anything. It's not charging you for nothing. And you are not spending more data. It's just the same data you are using to watch, to listen to me that you will use to talk as well. So, ẹ má bẹ̀rù láti tẹ̀ o. Let's have as more people as possible to join. Sister Kemo. Ṣé wàá pa?
Wọ́n wà dáadáa ọ̀ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ẹ kú ìyànnàná ẹ̀.
Mo rí kó ó ti ń gbé yín lọ́kàn gidi. Ẹ ti máa mú tó gálò epo méjì o.
Fáàtì mo ti mu ògùrọ̀ gan pé kí bóyá kùn mí lóorun kò kùn mí torí inú yẹn ń gbé mi ó ń ru gidi ni.
Ẹ ṣáà
kí ló dé ṣáwọn obìnrin náà lákúkú wá ṣe báyìí.
No, mi wá àtàkì yín. No.
Because at the end of the day, you've made some very, very, very valid points. But like I said,
hello?
And hello, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
Mo ń gbọ́ yín báyìí.
Nǹkan tí mo sọ nínú last comment mi pé a man is usually what he gets.
Yes.
Because èèyàn ò lè lọ sọ́jà. You can't go to the market that you want to buy meat. They will ask you which part of the meat, and we all have our taste bud. It is your desired taste bud that you point to. And so, women, we have different species, different variety, even from our look, from our composition, from everything we have. We have different dynamics. And it's often not what men sees outwardly that we are inwardly. I like the fact that you touched that, having the which home the woman is coming out from, which most of does apply to men as well. Am I allowed to follow Yoruba because who might check in the rooted that?
Yeah. Ẹ lè sọ Yorùbá.
Because Sherry,
bó bá ṣe èmi ìgbà mo tún máa ń fèdè fọ bó bá ṣe gùn mí ni o.
Yeah, because Sherry ọ̀rọ̀ tá a sọ yìí ó ti mú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ já sí ọ̀fìn ayé. Ó ti jẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sọ àyànmọ́ wọn gan nù. Èmi dẹ̀ rò pé pípọ̀ nú ẹ̀ nínú títọ́ ọkùnrin òun ló pọ̀ sí jù. Because a lot of parents wọ́n kàn bímọ ni wọn ò kọ́ ọkùnrin. In fact, wọ́n ń kọ́ ọmọ obìnrin ní ayé ìsìn ju bọ́n ṣe ń kọ́ ọkùnrin lọ. Ọkùnrin ní tẹ́ bá wo ọkùnrin 4, 5, 6, ẹ rí i pé majority ọkùnrin gan ti lose self-esteem, wọ́n ti lose ideology nǹkan tó jẹ́ kí wọ́n jẹ́ ọkùnrin gangan. And so ẹni tí ò mọ èèyàn tó jẹ́, ẹni tí ò ní understanding, that does not even have the mental capability to interpret himself and be able to position himself in all aspects. Láti jẹ́ leader, how do you expect anybody to respect you?
Àǹtí Kẹ́mi, ẹ dúró fún mi o, mo fowó àtọmọdé lẹ́nu. I have somebody also on the show, but mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ni ẹ mọ̀ pé mo recognize presence wọn ni o, and
Okay.
I will give them the audience. I welcome you, Emma. Ṣọkùnrin ni àbóbìnrin, male or female?
Ọkùnrin ni o.
Ọkùnrin ni, okay. Emma, torí Àmọ́ ibi tó lè jà sí báyá Emma
Emmanuel.
yẹn náà ni. Emmanuel, okay. Thank you for joining. So please stay on the show.
Yeah,
Or
no problem.
yeah, and I'll bring you in right now. Sister Kemi on the beat. I only one ball lower. Yes.
Mo ń
And
gbọ́
Kemi,
o. Ẹ káàbọ̀ Uncle Ella àbí Emma,
Emma, yeah.
Emmanuela,
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Yeah, God is with us. Shemo, a lot of men these days, because our fathers, our
Mm,
grandparents, they ride on the freedom, easy access of what society offers for them on the platter of gold.
mm,
A majority of them mishandle they in fact, one misuse ego on the
mm,
fact that they had a lot of cover up angles
mm,
that àtẹni tó jọkùnrin gidi àtẹni tí ò jọkùnrin gidi society praise máa sọkùnrin gidi, and that is why the recklessness give birth to so many wrecked homes. There's a lot of women nínú àwọn ìyá wa tá a rò pé wọ́n pẹ́ nínú ilé ọkọ yìí tó jẹ́ wípé ìmí gan suffer mental damage
mm,
in the process. Ọmọ mi gan tó because àwọn bàbá yẹn gan wà damage, they raise so many damaged children tó jẹ́ wípé ìgbà táwọn ọmọ yẹn gan ń dàgbà wọn ò wúlò fúnra wọn psychologically.
mm,
Mo máa ń sọ fún àwọn èèyàn pé kéèyàn ní academic excellence àbí kó ní iṣẹ́ gidi kọ́ ló jẹ́ kó ṣe pé kíní téèyàn ò bá ní fruitful relationship attributes,
mm.
gbogbo nǹkan tó kó jọ yẹn they are nothing, because
Exactly.
ẹni tí ilé ò bá dùn nínú
Mm, mm.
báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ rí inú dídùn ní ìta.
Ben, Ben.
So we end up saying that pé bóyá pé kìíní ṣe rí women empowerment and everything. Nǹkan méjì ló ọ̀nà méjì ló pín sí, ìgbà míì á bà mí nínú jẹ́, ìgbà míì á tún dùn mọ́yàn díẹ̀. Á bà mí nínú jẹ́ because kò fún ọkùnrin ní opportunity láti make amends.
Mm,
On the other way round, àwọn obìnrin tó tún wá fún ní power yìí níṣe ni wọn ò mọ̀ ọ́ lò.
mm, mm,
Ẹ bèrè pé kí ni ìdí?
mm,
Obìnrin tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ọkùnrin ṣe dáadáa o, kò ṣe dáadáa o, àti society o, àti everybody ṣáà lọ forí balẹ̀ fọ́kọ ẹ̀ ni. But
mm,
can you actually respect somebody that has nothing to offer? And
mm,
most women those days, they would do those things because they have no option, they have no alternative, not because of the love of the man, but because
mm,
of the love of their children.
mm.
Òun ló fi jẹ́ pé tẹ bá kó mẹ́jọ nínú mẹ́wàá àwọn òbí tó tọ́ àwa generation yìí and generation before us sílẹ̀, tẹ bá pè wọ́n pé kí ló dé tán fi kú dúró nílé ọkọ, wọ́n máa sọ fún yín categorically ni pé ọmọ àwọn làwọn jókòó tì,
Mm,
kì í ṣe nítorí ọkùnrin yẹn.
mm,
Nǹkan táwa ń pè ní respect nígbà yẹn was pure hypocrisy.
mm,
Ṣáà jẹ́ ń gbáyé ni. You
mm,
understand? Now,
mm,
women are now getting their independent, they can work, they can support their children, they can
mm.
do things that our mothers would never have dreamt they could do as women. So, and then when it comes to now the hustle, and sọ̀rọ̀ kan nípa intelligence lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn, and I
Mm,
said something about women are even being nurtured better than they do men. Men
mm,
are given the grace where just be okay financially or what have you, and then you are okay. Meanwhile, wọn ò tiẹ̀ tún fún wọn ní tools láti wà okay. The
mm,
system, the parents, everybody, they are not even teaching them how to make wealth. They are not teaching them how to be a man and be sustainable for themselves and their family.
mm,
And women are being trained from right, left, and center. So what
mm,
you see is women now digging and challenging men. Eh? What is it that you are bringing to the table? Wọ́n ní
mm,
àjọjẹ dùn tẹ́nìkan ò bá ní.
mm.
Ìfẹ́ is nothing. As far as I am concerned,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
I've
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
worked in the marriage industry for more
Mm,
than 15 years. And I can
mm,
tell you, a lot of people that divorced, they were
mm,
still very much in love. They
mm,
divorced
mm.
based on the fact that there are some certain tussles that cannot be fixed.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you
Love,
will
love,
see
love,
them
love
5 years,
is nothing.
yes,
Love is
5 years,
nothing.
10 years after the marriage, they are still
Mm,
very much in love with the person they left behind.
mm,
So, as
mm,
far as I'm concerned, the issue of love or no love is not even the question here.
mm,
The most crucial thing is as aligned values.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes,
ọ̀tọ̀ ni
yes.
kéèyàn rí obìnrin kó pancake kó ṣe pé bóyá kò sí ọkùnrin àti obìnrin kan tí ò wà compatible kí irú ahun kó rí ahun ẹni. Ẹ lè rí èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé patí lẹ́ni patí lọ́la ló máa lọ kóun náà wá rí ọkọ àti ìyàwó tó jẹ́ patí lẹ́ni patí lọ́la lọ́jọ́ máa lọ. Tí value wọn bá align wọ́n máa raise ọmọ gidi because they will be living in one accord. Gist wọn máa jẹ́ the same thing. Expectations wọn máa jẹ́ the same thing. Aspirations wọn nípa life máa jẹ́ the same thing. But nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí i ni pé à ń rí obìnrin àbí ọkùnrin tí ó jẹ́ pé ó ní intellect àti obìnrin àtọkùnrin tó ní ambition but tí wọ́n operate ní different wavelengths.
Exactly.
So
No
they will not set
aligned
themselves
values, no aligned
exactly. They will
goals,
not
not.
set themselves together in competition. Selfishness rule in the sense that who does what. And it goes back to the fact that I'm from that school of thought too, because the majority of the time the problem is from who we are. Why are we choosing to marry who we marry? Because nísìnyí ọkùnrin, in fact 8 out of 10 times people don't marry because they love, they marry because they can have sexual intercourse with that person.
Yes. I've heard
Tí
that from
sẹ́ẹ̀sì bá
several
dẹ̀
people.
tí sẹ́ẹ̀sì bá ti wọlé
Àwọn lè
tí
dòbò
sẹ́ẹ̀sì
láì má ní guilt.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí sẹ́ẹ̀sì bá dẹ̀ ti wọlé complications ti wọlé, so people do not even have time láti study ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ fẹ́. Àìmọye marriage tó jẹ́ pé out of emergency pregnancy o ti lóyún fún mi nísìnyí so mo máa fẹ́ ẹ ni. That is why we have a lot of people cohabiting. Ọkùnrin míì kàn fi gbéyàwó ó fi bobìnrin míì láṣìírí ni. And then they are living in marriage, we are considering them to be husband and wife when they are in real life pure enemies. People that should not even be living under the same roof. So I will give the room for other people to talk, but I'll still hang on. And if possible, if you want to, so that you can jáwádé èèyàn kan jẹ́ kí ìlú fẹ́.
Ẹ má tì lọ, mi mọ tí Mr. Emmanuel tán fẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀, so they just stay in the background to rescue me out tó bá ju agbára mi lọ.
Okay.
Mr. Emmanuel, good evening my brother, how you doing?
Yeah, Gio, àti gbogbo ilé àti gbogbo ọmọ ìjọ, everybody mo kí o.
Great to have you on the show.
A kú ètò náà, my name is Akeju Emmanuel. So.
Sorry, come again?
Akeju Emmanuel.
Bàbá mi o. Mi mọ̀.
Àríkáyọ̀ wọlé káyọ̀ dàbí náà.
Ẹ̀yin lẹ lọ disguise wọlé. How you doing, brother?
I'm okay, thank you very much.
Great. Yes.
And greetings to everybody in the house as well. So, as much as possible, I will just make my contribution to be as very short.
Okay.
I think, though I didn't start from the beginning, but at least between Motiba now, I think I'm able to gather a lot of things and also learn so much from your discussion tonight. So, actually, when discussing, during your discussion, I discovered it was tilting towards the women angle alone. So I now discovered that this discussion itself is based on wife material. So I understand why you're hammering more on the women than the other side, but there's no problem about that. So I believe it takes two to tango. But ọ̀rọ̀ I think marriage issue is a very sensitive issue, that it is all encompassing, and then nobody, I don't think anybody or any writer can ever fully discuss or make a write up about marriage in its entirety. Marriage is like a black market. It's not like a black market, it's a black market actually. So and once you get a black market, until you get inside, you don't know what is in it for you. There are situations whereby you get married to someone so pleasant, and over time things just got all, That's why talk is always cheap on the mountain. Yeah.
My brother,
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with you.
I would this was just what you mentioned now was the question I was going to just throw at you. But I thought, you know what? Kimadeje kikini Ebani lojiji. Let me hear what he has to say. But you're on track. Now,
Okay. So,
we what we are saying here is how to make this so-called black market to become at least open market. You get me? La ṣe ń ṣe aṣọ lórí ìkíní. Ìtàn sọ fún wa náà ní ọjà òkùnkùn ọjà òkùnkùn. Look, àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé pásọ̀ ló bá wọn múyàwó. Wọ́n kọ Bíọ́lá, Bísọ́lá, Tóyè àti Táyọ̀ wọ́n mú lọ fún pásọ̀. Wà lórí ibi tí pásọ̀ ti ń jẹ̀bà tó ń ta ló sọ pé yábáyábáyá Bísọ́lá ló máa da ọmọ Bísọ́lá yẹn máa ń nà ẹ̀. Ó kàn fi mú fún pé Tolúwa mú nìyẹn. Ó wá kojogbo gidi jẹ́ pé Bísọ́lá yẹn wá korò gan kò bí sí ọlá kankan fún un, ó bí sí ìbànújẹ́ gidi fún un. You know? So la ṣe ń sọ wípé look, we have the responsibility here to pick, to select, and what are the things to look at. But you made a very
yeah.
valid point here that you sometimes you get into a relationship with somebody that initially looks pleasant, and but ìgbà tó wọlé tán ọkọ̀ wa rí pé ọba bá ọ kálẹ̀ ní ìṣá. You know. Now, what I think usually happens there is this: our culture and our religion oftentimes forbids people who are not couples to spend more time together. So, of contact tá à ń ní àti time tá à ń ní fúnra wa kò tó nǹkan kan, if you get what I mean. And
ṣé mo lè
Yeah.
sọ nǹkan kan sáńgù yẹn sà?
gbogbo alámọ̀ bá ṣe lè fi wà pamọ́ tó jẹ́ wípé tó bá ń fẹ́ nǹkan you act in a way tó jẹ́ pé wàá ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó bá yẹ kó ṣe tọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ máa fi ba nǹkan tó fẹ́ yẹn ni. Tó bá ti wá wọlé tán wàá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wàá fìwà ẹ̀ gangan hàn. You know, so this is what I see happen most of the time. People put up their best behaviour bí ìpọ́n lọ fún interview ni. Wàá ṣe dáadáa, wàá sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa, wàá jẹ́ dáadáa ṣe everything. Wọ́n jẹ́ kán gbà ẹ̀ síbi iṣẹ́ tán. Wàá wá ṣèrè mọ́ ọ lọ́wọ́ ń bẹ̀ gan.
I can work under pressure. I can work
You
under
know?
without permission.
And then other
So,
things tí mo tún rí ni wípé other things mo tún rí ni I'll allow you to go on, but I just thought I should point out those things because you put it out. Other things tí mo tún rí ni wípé this ọ̀làjú tá a gbà sódì yìí ó mú wa lose focus. So that courtship period tó yẹ káwọn èèyàn fi focus on the right things tó yẹ kán mọ̀ nípa ẹnìkejì, because you guys are strangers. Kíní lọ́ máa lọ dinner lọ́ máa lọ sinimá lọ́ máa lọ tó máa jẹ popcorn máa wo Spiderman máa wo bí máa ṣe hànrànhànràn kiri bíi pé ìtàn wá gbélé ayé ṣe nìyẹn. So they use that courtship period not to achieve anything meaningful, not to even know this person, because àfi ayé wọn kàn jẹun, wọ́n ń ṣe dinner, wọ́n ń ya fọ́tò, wọ́n ń lọ excursion, wọ́n ń lọ ilé, wọ́n ń ṣe everything ni wọ́n ò discuss real stuff gangan. So at the end of the day wàá wá wọlé tán, and most of these things táwọn èèyàn ṣe nínú courtship yìí, there are things that they can't sustain when they get into the marriage. Ó kàn ṣe pé kọ́mọ yẹn fi lè sọ yes ni. Ó wá wọlé tán ọmọ yẹn sì ń retí pé tóun bá ti ń bọ̀ níbi iṣẹ́ rọ̀lẹ́ wàá ti tan candle látẹnu ọ̀nà, wàá ti fi flower sí gbogbo ẹnu ọ̀nà, wọ́n á ti da rose sílẹ̀ inú láti máa rùn bí yàrá gúrú màájì, wàá ti no kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. You know, so my brother, go on.
ẹ jọ sà,
Yeah,
ṣé
thank
kán tó
you.
go on mo kàn lè sáré sàn kankan sáńgù yìí.
Okay.
Èèyàn ń change, kò sí kankan nínú wa tá a wà lórí bíbá ìta máa ní ẹni tá a jẹ́ ní 20 years old náà la ṣe wà. Life do happen to people. Ẹ sọ nǹkan kan lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé values, pé ibi téèyàn ti ń bọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé tígbà tí wàhálà bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn téèyàn lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ ṣóyè yín, àwọn ló máa influence change. Ìgbà tẹ́yìn ṣe lovey dovey kò sí làgàtà. However, when life begins to happen in marriage, interferences will begin to come in. And ibẹ̀ yẹn gangan ni àwọn àǹtí tẹ̀ ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, àwọn tó máa ń faṣọ léjìká yẹn tí wọ́n á ti ráyè gbé àpótí wọn wọnú ilé. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti gbá àpótí wọlé, ó wá kú bàbá ẹni tó máa lé wọn síta. àwọn má gbà fún o kò ṣeé ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń twist nǹkan but a ti wá ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn lórí social media ń sìn. And that is why I always say to people, don't ignore the people your wife or your husband are listening to. The program they are following. And things like that. Because although the aunties and uncles in the village, but we have a lot of adopted aunties and uncles tí wọ́n work against the marriages nísìn. Tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n máa kọ́ obìnrin bó ṣe máa fi owó dun ọkọ ẹ̀, bó ṣe máa forun dun ọkọ ẹ̀, bó ṣe máa gbaná lójú ọkọ ẹ̀. In fact, mi ò ní láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Wọ́n pọ̀ gan àwọn tíṣà wèrè yẹn, àwọn tíṣà àlùsí, àwọn tíṣà torí wọ́n ti gbálẹ̀, àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti kọ ọkọ, wọ́n kọ tó yẹ pé wọ́n live pain yẹn and they are creeping into homes.
Àti ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ jù, wọ́n wà ní saloon. Wọ́n wà ní saloon. Ó kàn jẹ́ just one trip láti lọ ṣerun lẹ́ẹ̀kan ni. My brother, over to you.
So
I have
right.
also my sister on the show, Stanike. Just stay there. I'll bring you on shortly. Yes, my brother.
Yeah, so like I was saying that marriage is something that at times things just really don't really go as planned. Like human being, we are like classified as biological animals or thereabouts. I'm opinion, but actually, when we were much younger, when we were doing normal basic science, the physical sciences, we know that if you go to either in Nigeria or you are in Nigeria or you are Europe, any part of the world, you know that if you mix two molecules of hydrogens to one molecule of oxygen, that is H2O. Anywhere you go, it will always be water. It will always be water, coach. It is a fact. It has never changed. Well, I don't know of sciences of today, but when we were growing up, you know that these things are predictable. They are normal. It doesn't change. But coming to the human being, as biological animals, we are prone to changes. Our behavior could change over time and thereabout. So that's why I said, could this marriage counselor or no? Could I see on my week or no? I build your book or not that way. You can say this is what marriage is all about, or this is what will make marriage fail, or this is what will make marriage work. There's no template to marriage. What works for you might not work for me. So I think it's all depend about the two people trying to understand each other. Like you can't emphasize the place of courtship before wedding, because only if you knew what. But if you take time, if you guys had enough time, yes. You not look at okay, well, can I cope with this Efi? Can I cope with this one? If I cannot cope with this, can I cope with this? Cannot cope with this. So there's no perfect human being. The fact that the woman is not perfect doesn't mean that the man also is a perfect person. Because even the man's behavior might even be worse than that of the man and that of the woman.
My brother, are you suggesting that there should be like, say, maybe a minimum time that we should give to courtship?
I can't say minimum time because some people are fast learners, some people are fast learners, some people are slow learners. But the truth is that you can't rule out the rule of street sense when it comes to the period of 40. Because once you have that street sense, that knowledge, there's no how the pretense will be. You are going to go, shall over there. Now already, come on. So, but the truth is that in the long run, a woman also gives a man what he responds to the man what the man gives to her. So the fact that you might even have a good wife material in the first place, if a bad husband material, there's no how you can make out the best in that woman. It's just like a Nigeria situation. Between me and you, there are some of those guys that you go to maybe some of those politicians that they get there with good intent. But I think
the system will corrupt.
nǹkan tó ṣàmà ṣẹlẹ̀ over time that uncle ma wò pé ìṣàlùbádéjọ they just so their intention could just be over time blown away and they just mix with and they just go with the flow. So now if the and I've seen situation whereby there are some men that they can never bring their spouse bring their spouse abroad with the spouse visa. They prefer let her come in with his visitor visa. Maybe over
And go
time
back.
maybe over time they could work out things for her. Because the truth that a good woman might be coming from Africa or coming from Nigeria or thereabouts and getting here,
Environment, ma.
getting it with our sister, or this thing. This thing is a different thing. Even churches in the developed nation, you see that it's a pride. Single motherhood is a pride. Is a pride. It's not something that you're like, in Nigeria, you might see it as a stigma. In those days, you might see it as a stigma because no longer a stigma in Nigeria. You might see it as a stigma then, but now it's a thing of pride. So the truth that even the environment might even corrupt such person, that doesn't mean that it is going to corrupt. Those are people that some I mean what they they don't even have that character before. They're just trying to make up the character. But when they now see something that could influence them, I call what's all that? So now you get the paper, now you get the man, now you get this. I go ahead. I've read about a woman. The husband brought her into brought her into Canada through PR. And before maybe in the matter of maybe few months or thereabout, Oshima jumped to another person. So you know that one could have been there could have been a preempt action to that. Okay, Jai can do better now. Adem Wagba. So she did that there, waste time. Oshima maybe so it could have been it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing on the issue of marriage. But I just felt like the mother that spoke earlier on, she has said a lot of things. We have to learn. We have to learn. But only so it is for Ologmon to discern it. Yeah. So
thank you, my brother.
You can't. But oral marriage is a very very broad. But the truth is that between me and you, talk is always cheap when you're on the mountain. Let us just pray that life doesn't do us, because the truth is that a lot of people, if the so-called men of God, as the pastors, can be breaking up and be divorcing, then it's not something that it's not something that is written that is cast in stone. It's just for God. But the truth is that we cannot actually overrule the impact of God's favor in our marriage. If you have a good marriage and a sound marriage that is rocking 10 years and above, let's be grateful to God. But the fact that marriage doesn't work at times doesn't mean that it will be the end of the world. Well, we've seen situations whereby people fall in to their marriage and they were not able to come out alive. So it's just for you to look. If this doesn't work, even when I want to call any Christian, they are breaking up because of failed marriages. So why should we now talk our head and just say that we must kill ourselves? That was about the divorce. Communities of culture also about the divorce. Eventually, the man rack you up or the woman stab you to death. So I just pray that God in everything we do, thank you very much.
Thank you. My sister Nike.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for your patience. Ara material kan náà nìyẹn.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ wá bínú.
No, rárá, àbínú gbogbo wa náà ni à ń kẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
It's your turn now. Ẹ bá wa yín sí.
Ẹ ṣeun. Níwọ̀nba ọgbọ́n tèmi, èmi náà fẹ́ fi sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. So whatever I'm going to say, it's not to contradict what you have actually said earlier. Okay. I've learned a lot from it. But ibi tí sister mi tó ń kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀, mo fẹ́ yọ nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọn, mo wá fẹ́ build lé lórí. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ìyá ayé àtijọ́, wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn kò ń ṣe wípé wọ́n gbádùn àwọn marriages yẹn.
Wọ́n kàn endure ni.
Exactly. And I think that is one of the major problems with modern marriages. For example, I was gisting with a friend recently. To the glory of God, I'm enjoying my marriage. and I know it's God's grace, like my brother said. We were 15 in December. And I was talking with my friend and I told her, I said our mothers used to say, torí ọmọ náà ṣe dúró. Mo ní èmi ò torí ọmọ kankan dúró sínú marriage o. Torí ara mi mo ṣe dúró o. Mò ń tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ, mò ń tọ́ wọn o. Torí ara mi mo ṣe dúró. Because mo realize wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìyá ayé àtijọ́ yẹn wọ́n ti torí ọmọ dúró. Wọ́n sin ọmọ débi tẹ́rù ò ti ní ba ọmọ. Bọ̀ǹgbà tí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ lọ tán tí wọ́n wá di empty nester, wọ́n realize pé àwọn ò ní life kankan. Wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí pé korofo làwọn. So èmi wá rò ó, mo sọ fúnra mi, because mo máa ń rí wọn ní àyíká mi, even though kò ń ṣe ìpín màmá tèmi, but mo rí irú àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ láyìíká mi. So mo wá sọ fúnra tèmi pé ṣé nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi ní ọjọ́ alẹ́ yìí? Rárá o, rárá. Kò sí bí èèyàn ṣe lè kéré tó àbí bí èèyàn ṣe lè dàgbà tó. Oníkálukú ló ti ní challenges tiẹ̀ nílé ayé. So tí mo bá wo àwọn challenges kọ̀ọ̀kan tí mo ti pàdé kí n tó débi tí mo dé yìí, mo sọ fúnra mi eléyìí tó kù ayé mi mo fẹ́ gbádùn ẹ̀ ni. So tí mo bá ń tiraka láti jẹ́ kí ìgbéyàwó mi dúró déédéé, kì í ṣe nítorí ọmọ nìkan, torí tara tèmi ti ká lára mi ni. And now mo wá rò wípé àwọn obìnrin tó dàbí ẹni pé wọ́n ń yawọ́, tó ń dàbí pé wọ́n lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nísìn, kò kí ń ṣe gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n kọ́ wọn dáadáa. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n dé inú ìgbéyàwó, tí wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí wípé àwọn bá aláìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mi pàdé, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ gbìyànjú, tí wọ́n lo gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ tó fi kọ́ wọn láti ilé, tí wọ́n rí pé ó dà ń pé kinní yìí ò fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́, làwọn náà ya wèrè síbẹ̀. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó jẹ́ pín tiwa. So mo mọ̀ pé ńgbà tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ ní títí tàwọn ọkùnrin lẹ ṣe lénìí, ẹ sì máa ṣe tàwọn tóbìnrin. Bí ńgbà tẹ́ bá ṣe ti tàwa tóbìnrin, a máa lè sọ sí. But to be honest, I've realized that a lot of women becoming wild in their marital homes today is because it's more like a reaction. And I know that of a truth. We all have control over our emotions, or we are supposed to, and our reaction to situations. But kò kí ń ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ló máa ń easy fún wa láti lè ṣe bá ṣe fẹ́, or bóyá bí wọ́n ṣe kọ́ wa láti ilé wa. Nígbà téèyàn fẹ́ ọkùnrin tó ya ọ̀lẹ, tí ò ní kankan ṣe, tó jẹ́ pé ọmọbìnrin yẹn ló ń làkàkà, ló ń tọ́jú ilé, ló ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀.
ẹ jẹ́ ń béèrè ẹ máa gbọ́ kó tó dé stage yẹn, ṣé àwọn pé nǹkan tá à ń ṣe é sìn ni pé kẹ́ ẹ tó torí bọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ yàn án rí.
Ó yé mi.
Question tí mò ń béèrè sí ni pé ṣé bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn, ṣé màá yẹn ò yọ̀lẹ níbẹ̀rẹ̀ àbó yọ̀lẹ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ rí ẹ̀kọ́ ìgbọ̀n.
Ṣé kí n sọ ẹyọkan fún yín? Ní mo wọ lift kan ní America recently. Arábìnrin tó wa ọkọ̀ yẹn, ó wá wojú mi, ó wẹ̀yìn. Ó ní ibo ni mo ti wá? Mo ní Nàìjíríà ni mí. Ó ní àwọn ọkùnrin wa wọn ò ní láárí. Mo wá wojú ẹ̀, mo ní ọmọ bo ni ìwọ? Ó ní Ethiopian lòun. Mo wá rò sí ara mi pé àbẹ́yìn lẹ ní láárí, mo mà ti dáàdì sì rí pín bẹ́ẹ̀. Ló bá ní I'm married to a Nigerian. Mo ní ó ní he's so irresponsible, he's kíní. Meanwhile, àárọ̀ Sunday ní church ló ń gbé mi lọ. Mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá lẹ́nu wò. Òun àti arákùnrin wọn pàdé ní church yẹn, ní school rather. Wọ́n pàdé ní school, wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ra wọn. Nígbà tán dẹ̀ fẹ́ra wọn tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ ayé wọn, arákùnrin ní iṣẹ́ gidi tó ń ṣe, ó ṣe ọkùnrin dáadáa. Kò pẹ́ kò jìnnà, torí bẹ́ẹ̀ yín sọ pé táwọn obìnrin làwọn ọkùnrin náà ní o. Lódì pé láwọn ọ̀rẹ́kọ̀rẹ́ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní mutí, tí ò ṣe nǹkan kan mọ́, tó useless nínú ilé. Tó jẹ́ pé ọmọ yẹn ń ṣiṣẹ́ ọ́fíìsì, ó tún wá ń wa lift mọ́ kó lè tóra wọn. Ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tí mò ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o, jí o.
Mo gbọ́. So ó wà òkè tẹ́lẹ̀, ó ṣe èrè létà ni.
Ó ti yé yín, irú wọn dẹ̀ pọ̀ ń ta. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká ṣe kòńgẹ́ wọn. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ wa ṣe kòńgẹ́ wọn. Fàwọ̀rajà ṣe ìyá mi. Kí lẹ sọ sà?
Mo látẹ́gùn burúkú fẹ́ sí.
Ó fẹ́ sí o, atẹ́gùn bí fẹ́ sí. Ọmọ yẹn lòun ti ń bẹ̀ fún divorce by olóyarí. Mo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bí ọmọ yẹn, ṣe mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ní ìbàjẹ́ kan ṣe gbogbo wa family. Kò bá jẹ́ Haúsá, kò bá jẹ́ Igbo. Mo bá sọra mi di sister in law Àpàpàǹdodo. Mo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bẹ̀. Mo ní kó dákun, ó ní kó lè yíwà padà, ó ní kó ṣàfọwọ́ síwèé lóun fẹ́ kó jẹ́ kóun máa lọ pẹ̀lú ọmọ kan tóun bí.
nítorí pé àwọn ọkùnrin Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní sense of entitlement.
Kí lẹ
wọ́n
mean
ní
by that?
sense of entitlement pé èmi
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
ló lórí
kò
ilé
sí rọ́ ń
tí
bẹ̀.
n bá sì ṣe rí i bó ṣe máa jẹ́. Wọn ò brush ara wọn up rárá láti ẹ̀ tí wọ́n wí pé template wo làwọn ní láti run. Unfortunately gbogbo template táwọn bàbá wọn gbélé wọn lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ ti wà outdated.
Template burúkú ni.
Ó ti wà obsolete. Ó ti wà obsolete. Kò ṣeé tọ́mọ, kò ṣeé fi fẹ́yàwó, kò ṣeé ṣe láìpẹ́ àwọn ara wọn gangan fúnra wọn. Nǹkan tó fi ń jẹ́ pé ẹ̀ ń rí a lot of them tó máa start well and they will end up on the street. Àwọn obìnrin tó bá fẹ́ wọn forí tì gan nígbà táwọn ọmọ bá ti wá dàgbà tán. Wọ́n á ní wo mo fi ẹ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú kiri ẹ̀ o lobìnrin á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbé báàgì bó ṣe ń kúrò nílé ọmọ ilé ìlànà máa lọ ilé ẹ̀tọ̀ ọ̀hún. Àwọn ọmọ kẹrin wọn ò fọ́ lójú wọ́n wá fi bàbá lẹ̀ bàbá ìgbà yẹn lẹ máa rí wọn ní pẹ́kàm wọn lọ máa dára ẹran wọ́n máa rọbẹ̀ wọ́n wá máa ṣe philosophy orí burúkú. Let's call a spade a spade. You understand? Ọkùnrin ó ní gbòǹkì ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kò sí bóbìnrin ṣe lè forí ṣe. Obìnrin ní very soft mind. Kò sí tí ọkùnrin bá tọ́jú obìnrin kò sí nǹkan tí obìnrin yẹn ní láyé yìí tí ò ní fi tọ́jú ọkùnrin. Àfi obìnrin tó bá jẹ́ pàtàkì lábàbí àbí àbàbà nìkan because kò sí obìnrin tí ò fẹ́ ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ láti tọ́jú ọmọ ẹ̀. Bọ̀sẹ̀ rí ibi tí wàhálà ti máa ń kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gangan ni ọ̀rọ̀ leadership tẹ́ ẹ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn kí n lè fi platform lẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ n ju òkú eléyìí lẹ̀ tán. Ṣé rí leadership èmi lọ lórí ilé èmi ni father of the house ẹ jẹ́ aṣọ tòótọ́ fúnra wa kí náà fi ń ṣe. Ẹnu ò ṣeé ṣe ẹnu ò ṣeé ṣe ẹni tó bá máa jẹ́ olórí kì í ṣòun ló máa ní pé kán pò òun lọ́kọ kò ń ṣòun ló máa ní kán respect òun á ṣe nǹkan tójú ṣe ẹni tó ń jó lórí. Boris Johnson ò lè jẹ́ Boris Johnson wọn ò lè fi èèyàn jóyè àwòdì kó má lè gbá díẹ̀ wọn á lè dànù àṣẹ tó máa lé kúrò lórí kí àṣà tí ò ní ìyẹn rárá ni wọn á lè dànù. And this is the area tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọkùnrin ní kì í ṣe pé kọkùnrin ní owó àbí nǹkan kan bọ̀ ìyàwó ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ rí i pé ó ń làkàkà ó dẹ̀ ní etí ìgbọ́ ó ń fi orí ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ̀ ó ń fi orí ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ̀ láti bá obìnrin yẹn rìnrìn àjò.
Ṣé ẹ rí i pé mo mẹ́sàn-án bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé men has to stop being boys and become men. Obìnrin ò fẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé a tún máa dènà bí fún.
Kéèyàn kọ́ rò pé nítorí pé òun ti gbé kinní sábẹ́ ńsìn yìí gbogbo nǹkan tóun bá ti fẹ́ ṣe ṣáà ní kó bí irọ́ obìnrin ayé ìsìn yìí ẹni tó níṣẹ́ tó ń control àwọn èèyàn nínú ọ́fíìsì tó ń ṣe gbogbo tó ń ṣe yes ma ó ní discretion. Kì í ṣe gbogbo wa lọ́ọ̀kọ́ kì í ṣe pé àwọn obìnrin tó ń ṣìwàwù ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń sunkún kúrò nínú ẹ̀ ni nítorí wọn ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò burú o ẹ ṣe gan sa ṣe fún àǹfààní o mò ń ṣe lísìn mo bọ̀ ó dàárọ̀ o.
Ọ̀rọ̀ mo dúpẹ́ ẹ ṣeun o.
Èmi náà dúpẹ́ o.
Ẹ ṣe o. Ẹ̀bùn tó wà pa.
Ẹ káalẹ́ o.
Gbóhùn sókè o.
Ẹ káalẹ́ o ṣé ń gbọ́ mi o.
Mo ń gbọ́ o gbogbo ayé ń gbọ́ o.
Ẹ ṣé o fún àǹfààní ọ̀rọ̀ eléyìí ká mi lára gan lálẹ́ yìí ni òun ló jẹ́ kí n gbórí wọlé. Problem tí marriage ti dá sílẹ̀ níwọ̀nba ọjọ́ tí mo ti dáyé ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ and ó pín sọ́nà oríṣiríṣi. Ṣé rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin tó wà láyé ń sìn èyí tó bá jàjàrí jájẹ especially ní Nàìjíríà ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ báyìí èyí tó bá jàjàrí jájẹ báyìí gbogbo ṣáná máa kó sápá tẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n mi sí kò ní lọlẹ̀.
Kò ní rọ̀.
Kò ní rọ̀ o wọ́n á kó ṣan sápá gidi ni. Now ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ kó ṣan sápá oko lẹ̀ bá ti lọ mú yàwó. Tẹ́ ẹ bá wo majority àwọn ìyá tí wọ́n lá ń jìyà ńlé ọkọ majority wọn ò kàwé. So wọ́n ti fi ìyà yẹn kọ́ wọn báwọn náà ṣe rí láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn. So now gbogbo nǹkan ti wá ń yí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọkùnrin lifestyle tí bàbá wọn gbé náà sì fẹ́ máa gbé ń sìn but ẹ fẹ́ fẹ́ ìyàwó lóko, ẹ fẹ́ mú ìyàwó àwọn ọmọ tó ti woke bọ́n ṣe máa ń sọ, ẹ fẹ́ mú wọn ní town, ẹ wá fẹ́ wá máa kápá lé wọn lórí nínú ilé, kò lè work. Àǹtí tó sọ̀rọ̀ tán sí yẹn wọ́n ti ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Now kò lè work tá a bá tún wá rí àwọn tí wọn ò rí jájẹ but tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n kàn ń form, wọ́n kún Àbújá ń bì báyìí, tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ni wọ́n kún Hilton, wọ́n ti ní bọ́ọ̀sì, wọ́n ti ní native bíi 4, wọ́n dẹ̀ ní palm, then ẹ máa rí kódà lọ́wọ́ wọn.
Wọ́n máa ń ṣe project manager gbogbo wọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kódà wà lọ́wọ́ wọn steady, àwọn náà dẹ̀ ń wa Uber, tán bá ti gbá ẹnìkan pẹlẹbẹ wọ́n á fowó yẹn tún sáré fi rọ́ọ̀nù ẹlòmíì. Now tán bá wá padà wá rí ọwọ́ àwọn àǹtí tí bóyá gbogbo ẹ̀ ti janjú pọ̀, wọ́n ṣàpadà rí bọ̀dá fẹ́, wọ́n wá fẹ́ra wọn sílé, á wá di pé inú máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bí wọn wípé àǹtí ń make ẹ̀, kò dẹ̀ kó gbogbo owó lẹ̀, kò yé yín, àwọn náà fẹ́ káǹtí máa ṣiṣẹ́, kí gbogbo aláàtì máa wọlé sọ́dọ̀ tiwọn, kán dẹ̀ máa sọ iye táǹtí máa ná. Now tí ò bá wá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ wá rí kanra, àǹtí á wá wò pé mo ti pẹ́, mo tún wá bọ́ sọ́wọ́ wèrè dẹ̀ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ dàrú ni. Mo lè fi ibi tí mo ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ṣe example, mi ní dárúkọ but ṣe rí environment yẹn, oore ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni àwọn tó wà nílé ọkọ sì fi ń dúró. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn obìnrin tó wà ńbẹ̀ wọn ò sí nílé ọkọ mọ́. Kí ló dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀? Wọ́n ti mix mọ́ àwọn tí wọn ò rí any value nínú marriage. Ṣé rí gbogbo bá a ṣe gbé marriage sórí ní Nàìjíríà yìí, tá a feel pé marriage yẹn ó wà lára àwọn certificate tá a fi máa wọ ọ̀run àbí tó máa mú nǹkan kan jáde fún èèyàn tó jẹ́ gidi, àwọn ò gbé sórí bẹ́ẹ̀. Tán bá wá rí ayé tán ń gbé ayé tẹ́ pé wọ́n free, wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀, àwọn wá rèé wọ́n wá bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ọkùnrin tẹ́ pé kò ṣàlọ kò ṣàbọ̀, kò mówó wá kò ṣe kankan, ó tún wá ń ni mí lára nínú ilé, wọ́n á kàn wò ni pé kí láǹfààní ẹ̀, there is no point then. So divorce rate, separation rate ó ti pọ̀ gan sìn tí a dẹ̀ rí as anything. Kí dẹ̀ ni reason? Bí àwọn bàbá ayé àtijọ́ tí wọ́n ń kó ṣan sápá yẹn, bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe ọkọ, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin ìsìn ò ní, wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ máa gbérú ìgbésí ayé yẹn. Àwọn ìyàwó ayé àtijọ́ yẹn, ọwọ́ àwọn bàbá yẹn náà ti ń gbowó, àwọn náà ń dictate bí wọ́n ṣe máa live life wọn. But àwọn ìyàwó ìsìn, ìwọ ló tún ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn. Òyìnbó ni every time I'm an engineer, contractor ni mí, wọ́n á jókòó sí di kọ̀ǹpútà ní ṣáàkó.
Wọ́n ti sanwó ìjọba jẹ wọ́n lówó.
Wọ́n rí kọ́bọ̀ mú wálé rí, àwọn náà dẹ̀ máa ra gbára wo. Tó bá lo fẹ́ ra nǹkan díẹ̀ báyìí, wọ́n máa in fact mo ti rí a lot of obìnrin tó yẹ pé gbogbo ayé wọn náà fi ń sin ọkọ, tán fi ń sin ọmọ. Àwọn gan ò lè tọ́ka sí pé nǹkan táwọn fi ayé àwọn ṣe lélẹ̀. By the time tí ojú wọn bá wá máa fi là, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè bá wọn sọ mọ́, wọn ò ní fẹ́ gbọ́, because wọ́n feel pé youthful life àwọn làwọn ti waste dànù lórí ẹni tí ò wúlò yẹn. Ibi tọ́rọ̀ obìnrin dẹ̀ wá burú sínsìn ni pé ojú obìnrin ti là débi pé tí ẹ̀mí wọn bá ti ṣí, ó ti ṣí nìyẹn. Kó o gbé odó kó o lù mọ́gi mọ́, kò ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n ti ní nǹkan tọ́kùnrin bá lè ṣe obìnrin lè do better. Àmọ́ ti rí àwọn obìnrin tó yẹ pé wọ́n ò pòkè, ṣé o fẹ́ máa kóbìnrin ni, ìyẹn ò ń ṣe problem. Èmi náà láwọn ọkùnrin tó ń pè mí, àbúrò párọ̀ ni mí, èmi náà já mo wà okay, wọ́n yìí ń kọnu sí mi. So two can play the game ni. Wọ́n dẹ̀ lówó wọn dání tẹ́ pé tó bá lò ṣe mọ́, wọ́n sì wà okay. Wọ́n ò dẹ̀ bímọ tó kọjá agbára wọn mọ́ ń sìn. So orientation yẹn àwọn ọkùnrin need láti gbé sórí. Àwọn ọkùnrin ayé ìsìn ti yọ̀lẹ gan.
Now now the issue is this. All these things I can't deny that they are happening. Henry and Bo. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀ lára the one stuff. Fine. But in terms sọ ni wípé point starting yẹn isn't the point where we should be tackling it, because ó ti late ìgbà yẹn.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé ìgbà míì ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn máa ń pretend.
So lèmi ṣe sọ pé láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ló yẹ ká ti yan rí, ká ti wo rí, ká ti take the time.
Ṣe torí gbogbo morals tó wà ń gbà yẹn, tó wà láyé ìgbà yẹn, kò sí mọ́ nísìn. Kò sí mọ́ nísìn. So
èmi sì insist wípé the greater part of the problem is that we don't focus on the stuff we should focus on. We get carried away by so many other distractions. Ẹlòmíì jẹ́ bó ṣe sọ desperation pé kán ṣàpèun náà ní Mrs. kinní kan ló jẹ́ kó wò pé láàrin gbogbo àwọn wèrè tó yí òun ká yìí eléyìí ló dà pé wèrè tiẹ̀ ó sì easy jù, ó kàn máa ń bẹ́ síwájú ó máa ń bẹ́ sẹ́yìn ni. Àwọn yòókù yẹn wọ́n máa ń yaṣọ mọ́ra wọn lọ́rùn gbà míì, wọ́n máa ń lálẹ̀ lẹ̀, bọ̀ eléyìí kó kàn bẹ́ síwájú kó bẹ́ sẹ́yìn lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan òun sì lè manage. Ó jẹ́ kó fẹ́, kì í ṣe pé kò mọ̀ pé kò ní gángan lára, ó mọ̀ bọ́kọ̀ wò pé báyọ̀ lè manage ẹni. So the point I'm making is we should get to that point where we would keep our eyes peeled out on those things that are important, that are critical. So look at this now. I knew we would come to this point in our discussion tonight. I said wife material. I know somebody said, oh, we should do the women one. But do we really need to do the women's one? When eléyìí lásán gan, ó expose gbogbo nǹkan tí o lè rí from both sides, if you get what I mean. So, mo focus lórí ọkùnrin because àwa la lọ ń kọnu sóbìnrin. Àwa là ń kúnlẹ̀, ìkúnlẹ̀ wèrè tẹ́ ń na ríǹgì sí èèyàn pé will you say yes àbí kíní nonsense wèrè tán máa ń ṣe kiri yẹn. Àwa là ń ṣe kò yẹn kiri. You know? So, all these things comes from us. So, kí ló wá rí tó fi ń na ríǹgì wèrè? Kò síṣẹ́ lápá ẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan kan, kò sí anything. Ẹni tó na ríǹgì sí gan náà ò mọ bó ṣe ń lọ fún. Ìwọ náà kàn fẹ́ na ríǹgì wèrè kan. Ok, ìwọ tó na ríǹgì sí náà, ṣé ẹni tó na ríǹgì sí ẹ, ó mọ̀ pé ọwọ́ ẹ̀ gan ló ti gbó tó fi ra ríǹgì. But desperation pé kíwọ náà láàrin àwọn mates ẹ kíwọ náà tètè kó pín aṣọ ẹbí ló ṣe mú ẹ láti sọ fún pé ó yá gbà ọ̀gbẹ́ni ríǹgì rè, bá ṣe ń lọ jẹun lọ́la yẹn kó propose o. Ìwọ náà wá dúró síbẹ̀ wàá máa ṣe àwọn èèyàn máa ní ṣé yes ayé ara ẹ̀ ló ń tàn náà, tá ló rò pé òun ta wá ló rò pé òun ṣe fíìmù fún ni.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé nígbà míì náà.
Ẹ̀yin náà máa ṣe ẹ sì máa dájókòó wò fúnra yín ọ̀rọ̀ fíìmù lẹ́ ń kọ script yẹ. And that is what I'm saying. That we should get back to being serious with our life. This stage of our life is not something to just take with levity.
Ṣé mọ̀ pé nígbà míì a máa ń rí àwọn obìnrin tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ tán dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé iṣẹ́ táwọn ní lọ́wọ́ ó lè bọ́ ìdílé. Wọ́n á rí ọkùnrin tí ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, wọ́n á dẹ̀ wò pé òkè tó bá tiẹ̀ níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bí mo ṣe ń rí ẹ mo rí future nú ẹ. Ṣóyé yín? Wọ́n á wá wò pé òkè ká fẹ́ra wa. Ṣé rí ní Nàìjíríà, ó yé mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé ẹ̀ sí ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé rí ní Nàìjíríà ẹ máa gbọ́ pé sórí ó dìgbà tó bá tó marry kọ́nà ẹ̀ tó là. Mi rò pé ẹ tí ì gbọ́ rí.
Gbogbo kìíní ẹ̀ láti change.
So aṣẹ́rá àwọn òbí wa náà wọ́n níṣẹ́ ṣe. Wọ́n á máa sọ fún àwọn ọmọ pé ẹ̀yin ẹ má worry, gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ lèèyàn ní kó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ má worry. Ìgbà míì gan Ọlọ́run máa ń fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ parapọ̀ tọkọ́nà yín tó là ni. Now ẹ wá parapọ̀ tán gbogbo àwa janjú pọ̀.
Ebi ló ń pa mọ́nàmọ́ná kù.
So wọ́n wá máa ní ẹ̀gbọ́n, wọ́n lẹ́gbọ́n kan ò help ẹnìkan, àbúrò kan ó dẹ̀ lówó lọ́wọ́ kò ṣe kinní kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ìgbà tán ń sọ fún yín gbà yẹn gbọ́. Àwọn òbí wa náà peer pressure látọ̀dọ̀ òbí náà is another wahala. Then and àwa náà need láti change orientation wa. Mi ò tí ì rí torí pé èèyàn ò marry ó lọ kú rí, but mo ti rẹ́ni tó torí marriage tó kú rí.
Yes.
So mentality wa Nàìjíríà ni pé ẹ ṣá lọ marry, èmi náà fẹ́ gbọ́mọ ọmọ mi, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣe kinní kan. Wọ́n á wá korí bọ̀ tán gbogbo àwa dojúrú. So àwọn òbí náà láti pipe low. Then àwa obìnrin náà a tún níṣẹ́ ṣe lórí àwọn ọmọ ọkùnrin wa, because ìgbà míì a máa abandon àwọn ọmọ ọkùnrin a face àwọn ọmọ obìnrin. Now nígbà tẹ́ bá ń train ọmọ obìnrin fún ọmọ ọkùnrin níta tí ò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ táwọn òbí tiẹ̀ ò train, kò sí bí lèyẹn ṣe fẹ́ tò. ó dùn mọ́ mi pé àjọ jáde nílé kan náà ni ẹ mọ bá a ṣe bí wọ́n ṣe bọ́yẹ máa ń ṣe ní ọ̀rọ̀ pé bóyá ẹnìkan lọkùnrin ẹnìkan lobìnrin kọ́ wọ́n ń pín abọ́ fífọ̀ wọ́n á pín oúnjẹ sísè ni kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ kan ìyá pé ẹnìkan lọkùnrin ẹnìkan lobìnrin tó o bá ti ṣe òjẹ nìyẹn now ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lé ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ obìnrin náà máa focus lórí and train ọmọ obìnrin fún ọmọkùnrin tí ò wà trained kò sí bí ṣù ò ṣe ní wà so àwọn ọkùnrin míì kì í ṣe torí pé wọn ò fẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn òbí wọn ò fún wọn ní training tó yẹ kán fún wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ ti tì wọ́n síta láti damage ayé ọmọ tán kọ́. So ìwọ̀nba nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ chip in nìyẹn for now ẹ ṣé fún àǹfààní tẹ́ ẹ fún.
Thank you very much for your contribution. You know, gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ ó make brain, you know. But my focus, my argument, my standpoint, based on nǹkan tí mo ti rí so well tó dẹ̀ common, ó ní wípé àti bí àṣìyàn ni problem yẹn ti wà. And we leave the responsibility for people that won't be part of the relationship to make for us. We leave this responsibility to circumstances surrounding us. Either you are desperate because of age, or you are desperate because the person has money, or whatever thing. We let this circumstances dictate, you know, these choices, dictate these choices for us, you know. So we cannot continue to pass the box, you know. Ọkùnrin ni ò ṣe lè, obìnrin ni ò ṣe lè, kìnìún kan ni ò ṣe lè, and stuff like that. Now, those blame game and stuff like that wouldn't help us. It won't take us nowhere. It won't change homes breaking down. It won't change men being irresponsible. It won't change women, you know, from going wild and stuff like that. We have to go back to the basics. Like I said, few of the points I mentioned tonight are not the exhaustive list of things to look at, but they are the core. Once you can, you know, ascertain these things, once you can ensure that àwọn core areas yìí, you know, bearing any, you know, unforeseen atẹ́gùn òdì àti àwọn ìjì líle tó lè fẹ́ lu ẹni ẹ̀, I think everything should be fine, you know. But oftentimes, ìfẹ́ ti bò wá lójú, ẹlòmíì gan tiẹ̀ believe pé òun lè change èèyàn. You can't change nobody. You have no ability, you have no power, you have no grace, you have no òyìnbó mo tún lè lò ná, to change nobody. Tó bá ti rí tó gbogbo tó ti exhibit fún ẹ, tó dẹ̀ wò pé bó ṣe máa bá ní àbákú láṣọ ewúrẹ́, tó bá ti mú ó ti mú nìyẹn, àgbélébùú ẹ̀ nìyẹn, bó ṣe máa gbé nìyẹn. So it's better you open your eyes, you shine your eyes. Kó má jẹ́ kí èèyàn kankan, you know, package up fún ẹ kó wá jẹ lọ lára ẹ, or whatever thing like that, you know. So, and from the onset, I have never excused the men. In fact, I started off from them. You have to be solid before you venture out that you want to take somebody along with you on a journey. O tí lè dára ẹ tọ́jú, o tí lè dára ẹ bọ́, o wá ń sọ pé o fẹ́ lọ mú yàn kan, tí ó ṣí èrè ni, tí o fẹ́ febi pa ẹni yẹn, tí o fẹ́ ba ayé ẹni yẹn jẹ́ ni. So you have to sort out yourself first. Understand who you are. Know your temperament, work on the things you have to work on before you step out. Wèrè àwọn ọkùnrin míì gan tiẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ṣìnà sì ń bàjà a máa sọ pé tí n bá ti marry mo máa serious, tí n bá ti marry sí tí mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ọmọ tí mo like mo máa serious. A máa sample ọmọ kiri, a máa wá èyí tó jẹ́ pé báyá ó mọ kó dó gidi, ìyẹn ló fẹ́ fi ṣe criteria láti múyàwó. Wèrè èèyàn, wèrè ẹ̀dá. No, that won't cure your recklessness. That won't cure your lust. That won't cure your perversion. You have to work on yourself first. O ò lè fi ẹni tó fẹ́ lọ fẹ́ kó fi ṣe ń pò ló máa cure ẹ. Responsibility ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn. Look at the story of Joseph. When Joseph got to Potiphar's house and Mrs. Potiphar sọ pé wá máa dá ẹ dùbúlẹ̀, ìwọ bá wo ọmọ ló ń nà báyìí, gbẹ́ wá jẹ́ ń gbọ́ṣẹ́ wò. It was not in the Potiphar's house that Joseph learned how to refuse such advances. He had learned it before he got to Potiphar's house. So the battleground is not the place where you start learning how to use your ammunition. It's a place to kill or be killed. So you don't go into relationship thinking, tí n bá ti marry màá serious mi ní ṣe ṣìnà mọ́. No, wàá ṣe ṣìnà torí oníṣìnà ni ẹ́. So first of all, you have to cure yourself of ṣìnàing before you now step out to say, I want to do this. I want to get into this commitment with this person. Because expectation wà. So that's why I started from the men. Before you go out to start saying, mo fẹ́ mú yàn báyìí, mo fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan báyìí, mo fẹ́ wo ẹni báyìí, mo fẹ́ wo lágbájá báyìí. Ta ni wọ́n gan fúnra ẹ̀? Ṣé wọ́n gan ti wà okay? Sórí ẹ ti pé? Have you worked on your ego? Do you know how to run a home? Do you have the time? Because it will demand time from you. O ṣe ń hustle o ṣe ń lọ láti ìlú kan dé ìlú kan, o jókòó sójú kan, dẹ̀ sọ pé o fẹ́ ní home. Kò ní work now. Because sometimes wàá fẹ́ ní ilẹ̀ 3 months, ìwọ náà lọ 3 months. Wọ́n máa sọ fún ẹ pé wọ́n rí ẹ pẹ̀lú kinní kan sìyàn kan lọ bus stop, ìyá máa pè pé ta wọ́n lọ sìyàn kan lọ bus stop, ta ló sìn lọ. Ìwọ náà máa sọ pé wọ́n léyàn kan wálé, kinní kan electrician kan ṣe kinní kan, gbogbo nǹkan rán dandan bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa nǹkan tẹ́ máa fojú ayé yín ṣe nìyẹn. So you have to be at a point or at a stage of your life when you know that yes, ìwọ gan ti wà ready. Ibi tó ń lọ yẹn ló máa help ẹ. The picture of where you are going is what will help you to be able to pick the right journey mate. Tẹ́ fi lè débẹ̀. Ìwọ tẹ́sẹ̀ ò tí dúró lẹ̀ tó fẹ́ gbé èèyàn, wọ́n ní rọ̀rùn igi ni rọ̀rùn ẹyẹ. Àti ìwọ tó dúró gan àtẹni tó gbé, gbogbo ìjọ máa wó dànù ni. So láti dúró gan, wọ́n gan láti wà òkè, orí ẹ̀ láti pé. In tó bá tí mọ̀, ó yẹ kó mọ̀. Gbogbo àwọn ìwà wèrè tí o kọ́ lọ́dọ̀ dádì ẹ yẹn, ó yẹ kó kọ́kọ́ fi gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ́nà. Kó má gbé yẹn wọnú ayé tí wọ́n náà fẹ́ gbé. Gbogbo nǹkan tó rí ni pé dádì upper court ló máa ń fún mọ́mì all the time, láti ilẹ̀ lọ́ ti máa kó bí bá ṣàlẹ́ ni wọ́n ṣe ń jà. Ìwọ náà dẹ̀ ti ní pé kán tó sọ̀rọ̀ kán tó ṣe nǹkan ti sáré fún lágbájá ń fọ̀tí. O ti mọ̀ pé kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwọ náà ti ń súnmọ́ nìyẹn. Wàá máa sọ pé ègún ni. It's not ègún, kò sí ègún kankan. It's pattern. Kò sí generational cause, generational pattern ló wà. So you want to live different from your parent, you just have to change the pattern. See things that went wrong, see things that didn't work, and ensure that you don't repeat those things. Mo rí àwọn comment kan bí tó ti wọlé. What are the brothers that hide under church to defraud sisters? Story mi tún nìyẹn. story mi nìyẹn. So dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n mọ̀ wípé àwọn sísà tó bá ti ná gbàrà tó ti ná gbòòrò yẹn, church náà ló máa ń darí sí tó bá ti fẹ́ settle down. Wọ́n wá di usher, wọ́n á di afàdúrà jagun. So wọ́n ti mọ̀. So gbogbo ẹ̀ géèmù ni. So àwọn sísà yẹn náà dẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ti feel wípé tí brother yẹn náà bá ti ń gbé àwọn bible ńlá tó ní concordance yẹn, àwọn concordance bible yẹn, tí wọ́n tó ń wọ lemon shirt sórí blue trouser àti brown belt sórí black shoe, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń parí gbogbo sentences wọn pẹ̀lú God bless you, God bless you. Wọ́n ti feel pé èèyàn dáadáa ni wọ́n, á pẹ́ kó tó yé wọn. Tí brother bá sọ wọ́n di ajáde àpẹẹrẹ, ìgbà yẹn ló máa tó yé wọn. So all these things, wọ́n lójú lálá kan fi ń ṣọ́rí. Individually, we have to take responsibility of our life. Taking names of people to pastor ẹ bá ń gbàdúrà fún ilé, ṣé Bísí ni àbí Tóyọ̀sí, gbogbo nonsense, gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe yẹn, ìwọ ló máa wà fúnra ẹ̀, because Bible gan sọ ó ní he who finds a wife, pastor tó lọ tẹ orúkọ wájú ẹ̀, pastor gan wọ́n na pastor mọ́júmọ́ ni pẹ̀lú àná tí tó lóun gbèrú, wọ́n gbá ojú ẹ̀ mọ́júmọ́. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan gan wà tí pastor gan ò lè sọ tí mọ́mí jí ò bá wà rán. So pastor gan ó ń jìyà, pastor yẹn lọ bá ń pé kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ mú báyá Tóyọ̀sí àbí Túnráyọ̀. Ìwọ ló máa lajú ẹ, ló máa wò pé èwo ló work nínú àwọn méjèèjì yìí, by being critical, because that is a critical stage. You don't just mess around, you don't just joke around. Some even marry a supposed born again brother, then boom, after wedding they change to devil. Yeah, ó wà dáadáa. Gbogbo àlùwàlá ológbò, ọgbọ́n àti kẹrànjẹ ni. Ó kàkù ní nǹkan tó ń wá, and they will package as such. Tó bá rírú àwa ẹ̀sìn tó jẹ́ pé à ń yarun, a ní tattoo, a lu tí a ṣe everything, just that look alone, a ní irọ́ ìgboro lélẹ̀, ìwòrì lélẹ̀, a lè fẹ́ eléyìí o, kò born again, kò ṣe kan, kò ṣe anything. But báwo lèèyàn ṣe máa born again gan, àbí tá máa pèrè ẹ̀ born again but kò tiẹ̀ ní fear of God? Èwo ló supersede inú méjèèjì? How can you be born again but you don't even have the fear of God? Ẹ̀dẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó ṣe yín níbi, those that raped you, those that mess you up, those tó lu ìjìbìtì ara àti tabẹ́ àti towó àti everything. There are people who appeared in a way that you want, that you accept. Clean cut, well shaven, wọ́n máa wọ shirt àti ṣòkòtò. Instead kan lo pocket square, kíní Gideon Bible, New Testament yẹn ló máa fi sínú ẹ̀. So each time tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí, Bible yẹn máa jábọ̀ wá, máa ní ẹni ka Bible dèbí ni, always reading his Bible. Gbogbo packaging tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ tẹ́yìn fi ń wò yàn pé ó responsible ojú ọmọlúwàbí nìyẹn. And those things they are nonsense. Igi lẹ̀ ń wò ẹ̀ wo èso. Igi míì dà, ṣùgbọ́n èso tó so ó korò. Èso tó korò lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń so, bọ̀ igi wọn rẹwà. So you focus on how beautiful the tree is, how lovely it looks, how lush and green it is. But have you tasted the fruit? You see the fruit they are bearing? Ẹ wo content, ẹ má wo container. Mi ò ní kó ignore container náà, because container too is part of it. By the end of the day, shift your focus to things that matters, to things that are important, to things that are core, rather than all these things that doesn't really matter. There are things you can work on, but there are things that when they are missing, nothing can stand. You can't build nothing on them because those foundations don't exist. They don't exist. And my brother here made a very valid point. It says the blame game approach is why most marriages get so irreparable point. Let's all intentionally and conscientiously strive to be better persons ourselves, then we can start to think of bringing someone else into our lives. Ọkùnrin ni ò dá, obìnrin ló ní lọ́wọ́, ìyẹn kọ́ ni way to go at all. Ẹ ṣé sà. Thank you very much for this comment. This is where I stand. This is where I stand. The blame game won't do us nothing. It won't take us nowhere. We won't achieve nothing. Marriage will keep breaking down. Things will keep going wrong. But until we go back to the beginning, until we start focusing on the right stuff, until we start living intentionally, until we know what we want, until we play our roles, until we understand our involvement and what is required of us in the bigger scheme of things, then this story won't change. And people who understand what I'm trying to say and have put it into practice are reaping the reward. Until they get irú kinní náà, tán fi make gbogbo àwọn decisions wọ́n make, they're living to regret it. So the whole point is not to say, yeah, this is how you should live your life. No, the whole point is just to help us shed light on the area that I think we should be looking at, rather than getting distracted by throwing blames here and there, and we don't get anywhere. Please share this show. Á wúlò fèèyàn kan. You never know. And you also can take your time to go through it again with a clearer mind. Pick out those points I've listed in the show, and think through everything again. Maybe you would have a clearer understanding of what I'm trying to say. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. I even forgot to mention on the 5th of February was the first year anniversary of this show, the Bajantes. It's been a year now, and we've done a lot. We've done a lot, and it wouldn't have been possible without you tuning in, because mi ṣáà lè máa dá bára mi sọ̀rọ̀. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wá, òun náà ni ìwúrí mi tí mo fi ń turn up every Friday to say something. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó sú yín, please keep coming, and hopefully èmi náà máa rí nǹkan tí màá máa sọ. But the day I know that nonsense ló kù tí mo fẹ́ máa wí, I will stop. That is one thing with me. I understand when a thing has served its purpose and it should cease to exist. There's so many things I've done in the past that I've shut down when I know that they've completed their cycle. So the day I know that this platform is no more serving the purpose it should, then I will call it quit. But I still see so much potential in this. I see this developing into bigger and greater things, beyond just these Friday shows. And as many lives as we can touch, we will continue to do it. Thank you very much for those who joined me tonight to share their to contribute. I really appreciate your point, your contributions. They are quite heavy. Thank you very much. Ọkùnrin kan péré la rí tó wá sórí ètò. Ẹ̀rín pẹ̀ ń ṣera yín. Wọ́n pé ká mu ẹnẹsí ni nísìn. Ibi ò ní gba èrò. Ká mu gúdà, ibi ò ní gba èrò. Ká fa sìgá, ibi ò ní gba èrò. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó bá láìfù yín mú ń sìn. Àárín yín, àwọn obìnrin náà la rí. Bọ́n pe church service náà, àwọn obìnrin náà ló máa yapa kúnbẹ̀. Àárín yín. Kò sí ń tán pè yín sí. Ẹ̀yin náà lẹ ń jẹ́ kán máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí wa. Ó wà lára yín. Nonsense. Anyway, no, not on the show. That contributed me, that joined me in the studio to talk. I know there are several men listening to me on the show, but n pé wọ́n join the studio, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀. Ọkùnrin ẹyọ kan ni. You know? Yes, my sister, you need to watch it from the beginning. Kọrúkọ yín sínú list latecomer. Wọ́n á fún yín ní fine tó necessary kẹsàn. But you need to, you know, go back to the beginning. The show will be there on my page. You will find it interesting. You will find it interesting. Papa, mo mọ̀ pé wà ń bì. Ṣé ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ni? Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Àbáyọ̀mí, ó wà lára ẹ̀. Èmi ti fi yín lẹ̀. Mo mọ̀ yín. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn ìkà tó ń gbé pẹ̀lú kà. Mo mọ̀ yín. Ẹ continue. I'll be rounding up the show. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you. And a special request. Somebody said I should play. Where is it? I should play Esopele. Please play Esopele. Nǹkan tí ọ̀rọ̀ ayé mi gbà nìyẹn. Okay. I will be rounding up the show with the song Esopele. I know many of you have heard it several times, but let me make the wish of this gentleman possible. Right.
Esopele láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ́rọ̀ bá òbí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe làlà òtọ́ láì bá dé. Stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Esopele láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀? Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní dàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́ available, no. So you gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn òun ló wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lá jẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra.
Thank you very much. For the lovers on the show, this is Oreke.
Oríṣiríṣi kan lálẹ́ Jímọ̀, Oreke lẹ́wà ní. Ògúnrégé ojú wo, ó tún mọ̀ ọ́n rìn, ojú rẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ wá. Má pa mí o, Oreke lẹ́wà sísí, ṣé kí wọ́n gbà lọ́gbà bàbá ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà ọ́. Ọmọge mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀, Oreke lẹ́wà sísí, ṣé kí wọ́n gbà lọ́gbà bàbá ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà ọ́. Má pa mí o. Yóò kí ṣaláhùn bèbí, mo nílé ní Toronto. Owó tún wà lápò mi. Àtọ́jú ẹbí queen, designer, ayé dùn jẹ jùyà lọ. Gbọ́ mi yẹ o, Oreke lẹ́wà. Mẹ́lẹ̀ sí mẹ́lẹ̀ jẹ́. My love. Baby, make all my God's dream come true. You all let me talk of love. Cannot take it out of my mind. Out of mind. So back from me lying, I will take it for granted. I will meet all conditions. I will make it a moment for you to remember. Your love for me, let's see you. You know me, Oreke lẹ́wà sísí, ṣé kí wọ́n gbà lọ́gbà bàbá ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà ọ́. Oreke lẹ́wà sísí lọ fẹ́.
Yes, thank you very much for those who stayed with me till the end of the show. I wish you a very pleasant weekend. Until we meet again next week, Friday, remain blessed. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Odaro.